Now at 10, the Webb City City Council meets to discuss the potential of a new convention center. We'll have details. Plus, we'll check out the new home for the McDonald County, Missouri Health Department. And a Southwest Missouri farmer raises awareness of road safety ahead of the summer season.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Home improvement store Menards is another step closer to coming to Joplin. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The company has filed 3 building permits, one for the main store, one for a storage building, and one for a gate located on the property. The permits were submitted last month and are now awaiting approval from the city.
Each reviewing agency reviews their specific area. So the building, we're looking at structural plans, we're looking at the electrical drawings, we're looking at the plumbing, making sure it meets all of the minimum standards of the codes we've adopted here in town. Planning and zoning is doing the same thing. Our engineering department's doing the same thing. So each department, our fire department has plan reviews as well.
Permits list the building project at $8.5 million with the official address at 3317 South Geneva Avenue. The Webb City City Council tonight discussed possible ideas for a convention center in town. The city administrator, Carl Francis, says a local businessman last week asked for an area to hold gatherings, but the Parks Department also has had a need for an indoor recreation facility for quite some time. Francis says they're already looking at a spot that could be used for recreation and sports during the winter.
We're going to start looking for some funding options. We already have the land. We have land in King Jack Park that has been purchased for a long time. And we have a couple of initial drawings of what the facility would look like and how big it could be. But we really want to make sure that what we don't do is build a facility that's so small that it's not usable. So if we do this, I think the council's pretty much set that if we do it, we're going to do it right.
Francis says they're in the thinking phase now, and the council will decide if this is something they want to pursue. He says they want to hear citizens' thoughts about what could be done. The McDonald County, Missouri Health Department is about to have a new home. It's been years in the making, and now it's nearing completion. The new location will be at 3446 South Business Highway 71 in Pineville. There's also a new administrator, Mike Hall. He started his new position on May 5th. He's a former sheriff of the county, and he believes the county needs this new space.
It's very important for the health department. We got more room now. Hopefully the services will run a little bit smoother. Having the expansion, having the more room, just going to help us, help the clients and everybody here in McDonald County.
The current health department is closed until Thursday, so everything can be moved to the new location. The new health department will hold a grand opening the evening of June 23rd, a week from Friday, for the public to tour the facility. You can learn more on the new building at KOAMnewsnow.com. Starting this fall, students at Missouri Southern State University will pay higher tuition. Missouri Southern State University Board of Governors approved the tuition hike. It'll go up about $12.50 per credit hour to $280 for 2023 per credit hour. The chief financial officer of MSSU emphasized that the university faces rising costs of operation.
However, with this increase, we will still be the most affordable education among our competitors. And so we are very proud of the education that we offer to our students at that cost.
It's definitely hard for someone that has to pay for their own schooling, and as the prices increases, I will have to put a lot more work into it and work even more hours on top of, going to school, and that does not help me at all.
The total tuition cost after the increase will be $8,400 for someone taking 30 credit hours for the year. Now that school's out for the summer, a lot of area parents have been scrambling to find childcare. One local mom tells us she had to make some big changes to make sure her son could get childcare for the summer.
A lot of people are hiring everywhere, so I know that a lot of people are short-staffed, but it's one of those things that we've had to kind of adapt our lifestyle to ensure that we didn't have to kind of rely on others, which it kind of can feel as a new parent isolating.
KOAM reached out to Kids Clubhouse Daycare in Joplin, who told us staffing shortages. That's the biggest problem this summer. Not as hot today as yesterday. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
No, it actually turned out to be a really nice day temperature-wise. We went into the mid-70s, upper 70s, 78 for a high. But look at our normal high, 85, so 7 degrees below where we should be. Record 102 set back in 1953. All right, we do have a few mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming through, but in general, it looks pretty good. A few showers to our south, but we are watching this batch out across western Kansas. This is going to slide south and east and could give us a few scattered thunderstorms later on tonight. Until then, we look pretty good. We're sitting low to mid 60s out there right now. It's quiet for the next several hours. And then look at this, scattered thunderstorms, especially the southern half of the region, start picking up later on tonight, but mainly gone by the time we head into the morning hours. We're going to talk about that plus the rest of the week here in just a bit.
See you soon. 2 people are charged with murder in Dade County, Missouri in connection with the shooting death of their baby. Stormy Baker and Chelsea Martin also face charges of child endangerment. Investigators say last July, the 1-year-old girl was killed by her 3-year-old brother. The Highway Patrol says the young boy told investigators he shot his sister in their parents' bedroom with, quote, "daddy's gun" because she had his toy. Court documents indicate the couple admitted to keeping loaded guns unlocked in the corner of their bedroom. A man dies from a sludge tanker truck overturning near EE and DD Road in McDonald County, Missouri. That crash happened this afternoon. Authorities say 61-year-old Byron Lampkin of Bluffton, Arkansas, was driving the sludge tanker when it crossed the road and overturned. The man died at the scene. No word on what type of sludge was in the truck, but the most common in the area is chicken sludge for use as fertilizer. A tractor trailer overturned, spilling 40,000 pounds of steak fries. Around 11:45 last night, officials received reports of an overturned tractor trailer on Baseline Boulevard near County Road 150 in Jasper County. Officials with the Missouri State Highway Patrol said the truck was heading east on Baseline when a tire dropped off the edge, causing the truck to overturn into a ditch. Officials say the driver of the truck was not injured. Those fries, a lot of them, were all over the place. Crews had the site cleared, though, around 6 o'clock this morning. Hay baling and hauling season is in full swing across the 4 states. Elizabeth Van Mitri reminds us to be careful when we pass farm equipment on the road.
We'll talk about it, and mostly it's the disgruntled griping just like everybody else does.
Chad Flamer talks to a lot of farmers every day. Managing a farm supply store, he has certainly heard his fair share of close calls between tractors and cars.
Thankfully, we don't know of many people that have been injured, and I hope we keep it that way.
But it happens, and with the hay season in full swing, you'll be sharing the roads more often with these vehicles.
We cut about 600 small square bales a year.
Jeremy Hill, owner of Gooseberry Bridge Farms, has a neighbor who bales his hay. They drive the equipment from a few miles away to his farm, and for those behind him, it can be quite annoying.
Tractors don't go very fast, and people get impatient and try to pass, and the equipment's very wide, and oftentimes people will run into a ditch or run into the hay equipment.
The damages, they can be expensive. Mainstream high production balers can cost anywhere between $100,000 and $750,000 or more. Hill says from his experience, it's best to communicate with the farmer before you pass.
A lot of times they'll look over their shoulder to see if somebody's following them. And when I make eye contact with them, I know that they know that I'm here. And if it's safe for me to pass, they'll wave me around. And if it's not, then I try to just follow them because I know that they want to get home safely just like I do.
I have a job to do just like you are. They're hurrying as fast as they can, but patience is very important when you're dealing around large machinery.
A reminder to slow down and keep everyone safe.
You might see those tractors on the roads a little bit longer than usual, well into the summer. That's because it's been so dry. So hay cutting season is going to last a little longer to make sure farmers get enough hay to feed all of their animals. Coming up, former President Trump arrives in Florida ahead of his arraignment. We'll have the latest on the investigation. Plus, a Kentucky police officer shot what we know as authorities search for the suspect. Former President Donald Trump is set to appear at his arraignment in federal court in Miami tomorrow. Reporter Skylar Henry has the latest on the charges against the former president.
Former President Donald Trump arrived in Miami for Tuesday's historic appearance in a downtown federal court. Just miles away, Trump supporters gathered outside his golf club.
There's no doubt in my mind that he should not be behind bars from everything that I've heard in the media.
The indictment, handed out Friday, contains more than 3 dozen charges. It accuses Trump of illegally retaining classified documents after his single term in the White House and obstructing efforts to retrieve them. Prosecutors say some of the documents concern U.S. nuclear weapons programs and contain details about military activity and capabilities of both the U.S. and foreign countries.
This was a risk to national security beyond calculation.
Republican Senator Mitt Romney says the situation could have been avoided.
The country is going to go through tumult as a result of one thing. President Trump didn't turn over military documents when he was asked to do so. All he had to do was hand them in.
Security will be tight to maintain the former president's safety, and he's encouraged supporters to join a protest planned at the courthouse.
We're going to be using a unified command approach.
Inside, Trump will surrender to authorities and face the first federal criminal charges against a former or current U.S. president. Sources close to his legal team tell CBS News they expect Trump to plead not guilty. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
After his court appearance in Miami, former President Trump is set to deliver remarks tomorrow night to supporters at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Multiple agencies are investigating after a police officer was shot with a high-powered rifle in Carter County, Kentucky. Troopers say the officer was sitting in his car when someone shot at him through the car window. They say the shot hit the officer's arm. At last report, there was no word on the officer's condition or any possible suspect. State and federal investigators are on the scene of a collapsed section of Interstate 95 in Philadelphia. A hot fire caused by a gasoline tanker truck under the overpass compromised the bridge yesterday. I-95 is a major north-south highway all along the East Coast, and now hundreds of thousands of motorists and truck drivers are being rerouted to avoid that area. Local officials say rebuilding this section of I-95 could take months. A little later, a local musician visits Root Coffee House in Pittsburgh to showcase his talents for the Festival of Arts.
Plus, a chilly night for us tonight, but heating up quite a bit over the next few days. We're going to talk about that coming up. It definitely turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Temperatures great. Most of us mid to upper 70s for highs. A little break from the rain, which we greatly needed. The showers and thunderstorms, we had 3 periods of showers and thunderstorms over the weekend, which was great. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. We have partly cloudy skies out there for you right now. No rain officially at the airport today, but for the month, we're at 1.74 inches, which is pretty good. But look at this, we're still almost 7 inches behind where we should be for this time of the year. And you can see over the past 72 hours, everybody across the board got some rain. On average, most of us were in that 1 to 2 inch category, but wherever you see the yellows, Cherokee County, parts of Jasper, that's 3-4 inches. So some areas picked up some decent amounts. Out there right now, low to mid 60s. It's going to be a little bit cooler for us tonight. Our temperatures are going to drop back into the 50s. Here's our dew point, 55. That number can't drop below that number. When we hit 55, we'll have 100% relative humidity, which means it's going to be a very dewy start for you tomorrow morning. A few little clouds kind of shooting through, but in general, it's pretty quiet. Had a few showers down through eastern Oklahoma. We are going to focus on this batch of rain out across western Kansas. This is going to drive southeast and should clip at least the southern half of the region later on tonight. We're talking after midnight with some scattered thunderstorms. But this big upper level low in parts of the Great Lakes. So you get northerly winds out of Canada. That's why it's cooler. Weak little waves kind of rotating in. That's why we're getting the scattered showers and thunderstorms. Let's step through your next 48 hours. I'm going to stop at 2 a.m. Scattered thunderstorms, Kansas-Oklahoma state line, Oklahoma, Arkansas. If you live north of I-44, your chances for rain really go down. So scattered thunderstorms should be gone by daybreak. Then partly to mostly sunny skies through the morning. We're in the mid-70s by noon. Let's go into the afternoon. I'll stop it at 5 p.m. Most of us for a high tomorrow, kind of 80 to about 82 degrees. Tomorrow night, again, a few scattered thunderstorms, mainly in our southern counties. So we're looking at 1:30 in the morning. As we go into Wednesday morning, temperature still kind of cool, near 60. A little bit warmer Wednesday afternoon. We go into the mid-80s, and you can see a few isolated little thunderstorms trying to get going. Here's your day planner for Tuesday, 60 in the morning, 77 by noon. High temp of 82 degrees. Temperatures keep warming up each and every day this week. So I think by Friday, we're going to be into the 90s, but we're going to have big complexes of thunderstorms that drive in. So this is very similar to what we saw this past weekend. So we'll have clusters of storms into this coming weekend, mainly during the nights, into the morning hours, and then we clear out during the afternoons. 82 tomorrow, 85 Wednesday, near 90 on Thursday. Let's go 91 Friday, 90 Saturday, 93 on Father's Day. So it's really going to heat up. Of course, the official start of summer is early next week, and it's going to feel like it with 90s moving in steadily each day.
Boy, those who get some rain are going to be glad to get it because it's going to be hot.
Dries out
dry.
quick when it gets in the 90s.
That's for sure. Thanks, Doug. Pittsburgh Festival of Arts is underway. Local musician and retired music educator Jim Harris today performed a variety of American folk tunes on different folk instruments at Root Coffee House and Creperie. The annual week-long event showcases different venues and musicians all around Pitt State and throughout the community.
I like making music, you know. And I have a degree in in composition and theory. And so I, enjoy writing music and making up music and just sitting down at the piano and playing whatever feelings come to my mind and come to my heart. That's what I want.
There will be several indoor concerts this week featuring jazz, brass, Latin, chamber music, and more. There's also an exhibit on display at the Bicknell Center. Still ahead, the Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals look to get back into the win column, and Missouri Southern men's basketball kicks off their youth camp. Brock Aldridge has details coming up next in sports.
The Missouri Southern Lions men's basketball team is in the middle of their off-season. Earlier this morning, the Lions began day number 1 of their youth camp. This year's Future Lions Youth Camp consists of children who range from ages kindergarten to 8th grade. Today was day 1 of the 4-day basketball camp. At the event, the Lions basketball team is teaching everything from fundamental drills and teaching hard work. But most importantly, the goal of this year's camp is to make sure the kids who are participating have fun.
Well, I think just energy. We try to bring a good energy, a good vibe each and every day, and for our community to experience that, I think it's unique, and I think especially for young people to take that out in the world and really share that.
The smile, by far. The smile, the laughter. You can give a kid a ball and say, hey, go play with it, but actually teaching them what goes on, the details about it, and they actually enjoying it and loving it, that's my favorite part.
The Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals both begun their homestands to start the new week. Both teams currently sit in last place in both the American and National League Central. The Kansas City Royals are looking to snap a 6-game losing streak tonight. The Royals are currently in extra innings, but Cincinnati just took a 5-4 lead in the 10th. Salvador Perez hit a game-tying solo home run in the 9th inning to send the game to extra innings. The Royals are looking to avoid losing their 7th straight game. Meanwhile, St. Louis begins a 3-game series at home in Busch Stadium against the San Francisco Giants. Redbirds lose this one 4-3. However, Paul Goldschmidt and Paul DeYoung both homer in this game. It wasn't enough for the Cardinals. They've now lost their last 3 games. Well, tonight is Game 5 of the NBA Finals between the Denver Nuggets, who are 1 win away from winning their first NBA championship in history, and the Miami Heat, on the other hand, are looking to spoil the party. Well, it is officially over. The Denver Nuggets have defeated the Miami Heat to win their first NBA championship in franchise history. Denver wins Game 5, 94-89. The Nuggets have been around the NBA for 47 years. They've just won their first title. Denver Nuggets star and now officially NBA Finals MVP Nikola Jokic becomes the first player in NBA postseason history to lead all players with points, rebounds, and assists. That's a look at sports. We'll be back with more news after this.
Here's a fun fact for you. Missouri has the most amusement parks per capita of any state in the nation. That's according to the personal finance website Wallet Hub. All those parks helped the Show Me state earn the rank of 16th most fun state in the country. The ranking is also based on factors like number of restaurants per capita, movie theaters, and casinos per capita, among other criteria. Oklahoma comes in at 27th. Kansas is ranked 38th. Arkansas ranks 46th. The problem with this ranking, I'm sure you're going to agree, is that it's very subjective. It depends on what criteria you use, because Arkansas, for example, if you go by bike trails and hiking trails and scenic waterways, I'm sure it would rank very high.
I'm a little surprised by that, because like you look at Florida, you got all these major cities.
Right, but it's per capita.
Yeah,
so it's diluted by so many people. Okay, quickly.
Interesting. All right, for us tonight, kind of chilly. We drop back upper 50s for overnight lows, 82, partly sunny tomorrow.
Final sports note.
Final sports note. Former Kansas Jayhawk Christian Brown won the NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets tonight. He is one of only 6 players in NBA history to win an NCAA title and an NBA championship in back-to-back seasons.
Wow.
He joins the likes of lists like Irvin Magic Johnson and even Bill Russell.
Some celebration tonight. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great tomorrow.